What's going on, Darksiders? It's Tales from the Dark Side Tuesday. It's entering the dark side. What's going on, everybody? Doing it live tonight as sorry, I'm a little energetic. I've had this will be my second cup of coffee along with a Red Bull since about 2 o'clock this afternoon. So I'm pretty jacked and I'm probably gonna be up all night. But I'm excited to watch this episode finally. It's entering the dark side. I don't know which episode we're on this, but tonight we're going to be watching episode 7 from season 1, and this is a big one. This is one of the more iconic episodes of the Tales from the Dark Side series, I would guess. It's Inside the Closet, directed by the great Tom Savini. It's Tom Savini's debut as a director, I do believe. I don't think he did anything earlier than this. But yeah, we'll go ahead and say it's Tom Savini's directorial debut. So yeah, I decided to get on here and do this shit live tonight because it's been a little hectic around here the past few days. Was planning to hop on last night. Was actually going to watch 2 episodes because there's one coming up after this is actually another Michael Gornick directed episode. So I was really excited to get into that. And so the plan was I was originally going to hop on here last night, record the episode, get it, edited and put together, and hopefully have it out by today. And that just was not going to happen. So my daughter had her first, how should I put this delicately? Her first experience with the drizzling shits. We'll just say that. Little diarrhea yesterday. I don't want to get too graphic. I don't want to get too, too into it. But needless to say, it was a little bit going on last night, so I didn't get a chance to. And on top of that, I mean, it was Thanksgiving weekend, and so much going on here over the past few days. I didn't get to do a live stream over the weekend either, which I didn't really have anything planned. I didn't really know what to talk about, really. So I figured, I'll hop on here tonight, do this live. Got another live stream planned for this Saturday night. Going to be doing the Romero rankings of the Romero death scenes, part 1. So we're going to be looking at all the death scenes of all the main characters from Night of the Living Dead all the way up through Dawn of the Dead, the first decade of Romero. And I'm going to be ranking them from the best to the worst. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I'm getting it all together. So it's been a little chaotic around here. So my apologies, but yeah, looking forward to this episode. It's Tom Savini's directorial debut. It's also the first episode from writer Michael McDowell. No, not the NASCAR driver, the former Daytona 500 champion. Michael McDowell, who wrote the segment Lot 249 for the Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. He wrote quite a bit. Nightmare Before Christmas, I think he was a writer on that. Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, as well as Tim Burton's Beetlejuice. I think he was either a co-writer or he single-handedly wrote that. I can't remember, but he's done a lot. And I know Grande has spoken about Michael McDowell quite a bit as a writer, and he's there's a little shithead. Hold on a second. What, baby? She's yelling for me. My apologies. I'm guessing Jade went outside to smoke or something, but yeah, that's Everly. That's my daughter, Everly Dawn. But yeah, Michael McDowell's done a lot of writing for a lot of different things, and I think he wrote the next 2, so Inside the Closet, as well as the one coming up afterwards, which is Word Processor of the Gods, I believe, which he co-wrote with Stephen King, actually. So that's going to be a really exciting episode to watch. This episode also has Fritz Weaver in it, who a lot of you guys probably remember from Creepshow. He plays what's his face from the Crate. Not Hal Holbrook, not Adrian Barbeau, but the other guy. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. Great performance. I love the scene with him and Hal Holbrook. when he goes to Henry's house and he's trying to explain to him about the crate and the monster and all that. Great scene. Anyway, he's in this. He stars in this, as well as Roberta Weiss. I'm not super familiar with. I did see that she was in Cronenberg's The Dead Zone. So that would be something that you guys would probably recognize her from. All hell's breaking loose downstairs. Anyway, we'll push through here. So yeah, this is gonna be a watch along. I'm probably gonna stop it a couple of times because I really want to watch this. And the thing with doing like live watch alongs and shit is that there's a constant feeling of needing to talk and have some shit to say about it. I'd really like to watch it, so I'd like to watch, maybe pause, and get into what we've seen, what we're thinking, what we're feeling about this episode. And if I'm not mistaken, I've never seen this episode before, which I've never seen any of these episodes before. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe that the creature in this episode is the creature from the main, the image on the Entering the Dark Side videos that I've been posting. I do believe. I'm very ignorant to this show, guys. If any of you guys have any information or know any more, I know the last week's episode, Justine Bateman was in the episode Mookie and Pookie, which is, of course, the episode where we learned the origins of Dirt Sheet Dave Meltzer. And that name didn't ring a bell, but as a matter of fact, Robert Dobbins actually commented on it and let me know that that's actually Jason Bateman's sister, which I was not aware of. I know Jason Bateman, but not too familiar with Justine. So, but I appreciate that little bit of information. I did not know that. So, definitely appreciate that. So yeah, I'm going into these episodes completely blind. Like, I've never seen any of these going forward. I know very little about any of them outside of what I've heard from guys like Grande and guys like that. So I'm excited to check this out and see how it goes. The original air date on this episode was November 18th, 1984. So what? 10 days past the... Oh God, math. Holy shit. It's almost been 40 years since this since this episode. It blows my mind to think of like time and shit. Like 1984, that doesn't seem that far away. I mean, that's the year that Terminator came out. And only 4 years before I was born. And I remember, like, it just feels like I remember when I was a kid, it like on one level, like the 80s seemed like such a long fucking time ago. And I'm talking about like when I was we were in the 90s and I was a kid, and it's weird, like just thinking about time in general, just to get off on a small tangent here. Because like I said, I'm hopped up on fucking caffeine like a motherfucker right now, so I apologize. But time itself, it feels like time goes by so much faster the older you get, because you have so much time in your rearview mirror. You know what I mean? Like there's so much that you've experienced, so much you've gone through, that it almost seems like the future speeds up. Or when you're a kid, like, you're 10 years old, you were born 10 years ago. And so like your life experience is very limited. So it feels like 5 years ago feels like forever ago. I don't know. I was just thinking about that the other day, and just getting older. And I just had my 35th birthday, and it's crazy to think in 15 years I'm going to be 50 years old. But as Tom Petty once said, if you're not getting older, you're already dead. So that's what I try to live my life by. But anyway, this is completely off fucking topic. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So yeah, just thought I'd hop on here tonight, do this live. As the crazed Bill O'Reilly once said, fuck it, we'll do it live. So we're going to do that. We're going to watch Inside the Closet, directed by Tom Savini. And if you guys want to watch it, like I said, you guys can try to watch at home. But like I said, I'm probably going to pause this a couple of times as we go along here, just to give my thoughts. Because like I said, I really want to kind of watch this. And I feel like if I'm talking through the episode, like I'm one of those guys that like, don't talk to me while I'm trying to watch something, because it irritates the shit out of me. Like, I have a friend that I like to that we watch movies with, and he's the same way. It's like we just if something's playing, if we're at the movies or we're watching something on TV or whatever, we don't talk. Like it's just like okay, we're watching, we're giving everything our undivided attention. So, but I also understand that this is YouTube and this is a live stream, so you guys are tuning in to hear my thoughts and get my opinion on things, I guess. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna try to find some nice little balance there in between. So let's go ahead and get into this motherfucker. Where's it at? Okay, so this is Inside the Closet, episode 7 from season 1, directed by Tom Savini, starring the great Weaver. And so yeah, if you want to watch along, I'll like I said, I'm gonna be pausing throughout. So bear with me. We'll figure it out. All right. So 3, 2, 1, and play. All right. It's weird. I've only watched 8 episodes of this so far. And this intro, still not sick of it yet. I love the little the voiceover here with I can't remember the dude's name now. I just saw it the other day, but yeah, it's kind of like Twin Peaks. It's like the intro to Twin Peaks. I could literally just watch that and I'd be fine. You know, I ain't gotta watch the show. Which I like season 1 of Twin Peaks, but season 2 is where I think it started to drift off into who knows where. All right, so we're getting into this. So Inside the Closet. And like I said, I'm pretty sure this is Tom Savini's directorial debut. Got a lot of animal heads and bones on the wall. That's interesting. For a second there, that ashtray, I was looking, I was like, is that the ashtray from Creepshow? It's not, but you know. That's the thing with this series is every episode feels completely different than the last. Yeah, there's Fritz Weaver. I guess that's Roberto Weiss, Dr. Fenner. So Dr. Fenner and Gail. I got to write these down because I'm really bad with characters' names. I don't know why, but it's like in music too. Music, I very rarely, even like some of my favorite songs, I couldn't tell you what the lyrics were off the top of my head. Okay. Pause real quick. So apparently the setup here is Dr. Fenner. I had to look at the name because I couldn't fucking remember. Dr. Fenner is renting out a room in his house to Gail, I guess her name was. Sorry, Everly's calling for me again. But he's renting out the room to this gal. He works from home. He doesn't want to be disturbed. Nobody wants to rent this room out because apparently he's that big of a prick. But she doesn't have much, and she'll be quiet. So okay, so that's kind of the setup here. So we'll see where this goes. It's an interesting performance here by Fritz Weaver. It's completely different than his performance in Creepshow, I'd say. He almost feels kind of Christopher Lee-ish. So she's discovered a small little door in this room that she is renting. Wonder what could be behind there. Kick back. Oh no, I'm gonna move that. Sorry. So now he's upset. The music in this almost kind of sounded like a music cue from Night of the Living Dead for a second there. So they're really playing towards this door. So either he's got a midget living down there or something's going on. Hang on, baby. Sorry. Like I said, it's mostly chaos in here. So I apologize. Okay, so obviously she's gonna find out. She's gonna figure out that there's some kind of little creature in that little closet there. Why is he hiding it? What's some motivation here? And I'll be goddamn. There's this is music from Night of the Living Dead. I knew it. Okay, so she's going over to the door. She's can't quite get it open. It's very interesting. I feel like it's this whole score. I feel like is from Night of the Living Dead. Uh-oh. So the door's open, nothing in there. She's gonna put a rat trap in there. Some interesting artwork. So if there were actually like, if she really thought that there were rats in this closet, I mean, I feel like she's very obsessively trying to, I don't know, catch the rat or something. It's. I just can't get the door back open. So it kind of sucks that I'm kind of aware what's behind this door. Yeah, here he comes. Little fella's free. Oh shit. Got a quick glimpse of the back of this little thing. But it kind of sucks that I'm kind of aware. I would like, yeah, I wish I could just kind of watch this blind. But really, anytime you see anything Tales from the Dark Side, like, usually this little monster's in there. It's kind of the focus of the whole thing. Most iconic thing, I guess. Which I don't know. Maybe it has more to do with Savini directing this than. But we'll see. I'm curious to see what it actually looks like. Like I've seen, pictures and shit. But anyway, he's out, or is he? So far, not too heavy on the dialogue. Which like I said, it kind of sucks that I kind of know what's behind the door, what's inside the closet already. Because I think the effect of this episode is more in the suspense and the build up than it is anything else. So that may be skewing my enjoyability or whatever. Oh, his little webbed hand came out from under the bed. Now that shit right out. I mean, that's nightmare fuel for any kid or adult, really. I mean, I don't think anybody, even if you're an adult, you cannot sit there and say that you've never turned the lights out and then got in bed, and then that little thought, oh, oh, those eyes are pretty fucking cool looking. But everybody's had that thought where something's gonna grab your foot as you're trying to get in bed. But that shot there with the eyes and the little guy, very reminiscent of the crate, which I feel like this episode, I mean, is very reminiscent of the crate so far. I mean, just Fritz Weaver being a part of it. Even the architecture of the house kind of reminds me of the house from the crate. The house where the party's taking place at. I don't know. So I get the feeling that he's purposely boarding these people in this room for food, maybe. I guess I can draw on the suspense of not knowing what the point of this is. I'll be sliding the box under the bed. Because if he was, if the doctor's trying to, hide this creature from the world, why would he board somebody there? I guess. So now the closet is full of shit, clothes and toys. A little music cue there kind of reminded me of Donald Rubinstein's score from Martin, actually. Uh-oh. Stuck her hand in her own trap, dumb bitch. So we had a little bit of blood, one drop of blood, which I think may be one of the more, maybe the most bloody scene in this series so far. One of, maybe outside of, I'll Give You a Million. I think that had a little bit of blood in it. But I mean, you got to remember, like this series in the mid '80s. I mean, in syndication. I mean, I don't really think there were any kind of, blood or gore or anything like that on TV back then. Not that I can think of, really. Goddamn, now you turn on Walking Dead or something like that, and you're seeing people getting decapitated and fucking disemboweled left and right, and nobody bats an eye or thinks twice about it. Mm. I'm loving this performance from Fritz Weaver, actually. Like I said, it's very Christopher Lee. Kind of reminds me of that. Maybe it's the hair. I don't know. So she's starting to kind of wise up that something's living in that closet. She doesn't know what. I don't guess he's saying yet. Oh, there's that Night of the Living Dead score again. Doors opening. Why the hell is she still living there anyway? If she's that freaked out and worried about it, just say, sorry, dude, I'm out. She's crawling over to the door. And... it looks like... oh, damn. Oh, okay. Here we go. She's being attacked by the little monster now. Kind of looks like one of the, like, from Lamberto Bava's Demons, or no, it kind of looks like one of the little baby gargoyles from the Tales from Darkside the movie, in The Lover's Vow. So he just drug her into the closet, and I guess, yeah, for food. Okay, and a little bit of gore there, not bad for 1984. Like we were just talking about. Not much, but so yeah. So he's just renting out this room to feed this little monster. Oh. You see him walking in the background here down the stairs behind Fritz Weaver. It is very reminiscent of the Lover's Vow, the little baby gargoyles at the end of the movie there. This would be very fucking disturbing for people in 1984, I would think, on TV. The puppet, I mean, the puppeteering or whatnot looks pretty damn cool. Now it would be all fucking CG, and I'm sorry, but so he's taking a little monster upstairs and tucked it into bed. That was very interesting, and I dug that. Okay, but yeah, nowadays that little monster would be all CG, and maybe I say, oh, I'm old school. I was born in '88, but I just prefer fucking practical effects as opposed to CGI. I can't, unless it's for something very small to enhance something or do something that you can't do in real life. But my God, after watching that Day of the Dead remake, even good CGI, but bad CGI, there's nothing worse. But even good CGI, you still know on some level that thing's not really there. It's not a real physical thing in the shot. Um, I don't know, man. I've just never. But even that, like on that episode, the monster there, the little creature, obviously a puppet. It's obviously but it's still a physical thing that you can still pick up and hold and interact with. And there's still, I don't know, something about it still just works better for me. But that was episode 7, Inside the Closet. Yeah, definitely not one. So like instant reaction here, I guess, the immediate review of this episode. I don't know if I like it quite as much as The Odds or I'll Give You a Million, just for the lack of dialogue. I feel like it was built on more, and like I said, I think just knowing of what to expect and what was coming around the corner and what was coming out of that closet. Um, I feel like maybe that affected my viewing of this for the first time. Like if I was watching this for the first time completely blind, knowing nothing, um, it may have been a little bit more effective. The ending was awesome. That was, and it was just a slow build up to that ending there until the reveal of the Creed, which is total Tom Savini. Um, which I think this is the perfect episode for Tom Savini to direct. Did we see a little bit too much of the creature? Maybe. I mean, it's very, you know, but I thought they did a good job, like teasing it up until that last part there. But I don't think they really could have done it any other way than the way that they did it. Um, yeah, I would have liked to have a little more. I love the performance from Fritz Weaver. I thought he did a really good job. Like I said, very Christopher Lee-ish. Roberta Weiss did okay. She was just kind of there to. I guess there just wasn't too much for her to really dig into. Um, for me personally, I think I probably, if I were to rank these, I'd probably put The Odds above this. I would honestly probably put Slippage, the last episode, the Michael Gornick directed Slippage. I'd probably put that ahead of this one, and I'll Give You a Million possibly. So I mean, it was a fun episode. It was good. It was a nice little build up. Like I said, if I was watching this for the first time and I had no idea what was coming, maybe that would have enhanced my enjoyment of this episode a little bit more. But it was basically one long, 22-minute build up to this, reveal of the creature and just the weird little ending there with Fritz Weaver and tucking this little monster in. There's no real explanation for any of it. I mean, we got that the Dr Fenner character. I guess his wife died of breast cancer. His children are gone, so there's no real explanation for where this creature came from, why he's keeping it. Is it a child of his? I mean, who knows? But like I said, I enjoyed it. It was definitely better than fucking Painkiller. Probably very different episodes, but I'd probably put it right about with The New Man. That episode, I think, because I liked The New Man a lot. It just kind of left you with a lot of unanswered questions and a lot of, huh. This is kind of the same. I'd probably put this a little bit above that actually, just because of the fun finale. A little bit of blood, I'll say that. Um, very little bit of blood, but really more than we've seen so far. I think of what we've seen so far. Let's go back to the. We're going back to the menu. Okay. So yeah, I mean, Trick or Treat really wasn't gory. I mean, it was just kind of weird. And that was the pilot episode. New Man, nothing. Give You a Million, very little. Like when the words are coming through the guy's chest, maybe a little bit there. Nothing really in Painkiller. The Odds, no. So yeah, I mean, this is probably, I mean, in terms of just like practical effects, I mean, this is probably the outside of Trick or Treat, I would say probably the most. I mean, like I said, perfect episode for Tom Savini to direct, and I mean, and for Tom Savini, like I was talking about with Grande the other night, and we were talking about Night 90 and Savini maybe being a little bit in over his head directing that feature film for the first time. This is definitely, I feel like this was a good. I guess as filmmakers, I would probably prefer Gornick and John Harrison to Savini as just a director. But this was a good episode for Savini because literally it is just one big build up to this finale of blood and the fucking creature effects and stuff. It's one big send up to the effect basically, and so I think it was a good episode for Savini to direct. So, you know, I thought he did a fine job. I thought he did a good job with it. But yeah, I think overall, I think I'd put it right there, maybe a little bit above The New Man, the first episode of the series. I still think I like The Odds better. I still think I liked I'll Give You a Million better. And for very different reasons. I mean, The Odds, I think, is probably my favorite episode of this series so far, just because I love the tension between the two characters and the dialogue. And like I said, every episode in this series so far, and like this is kind of a wrap up of disc one, because I got the Tales from Darkside, the complete series on DVD, by God. So this is the end of disc one, and I think of all the ones I liked so far, The Odds is probably up there. I really like Slippage a lot. You know, I've actually thought about that episode maybe more than any of the other episodes that I've seen up to this point. I think The Odds was probably the best written, maybe best acted. But Slippage, I think, just in terms of just like the, uh, just the story of it and the idea of it, I thought was really well done. But this was fun. This was one that if I saw as a kid on TV on like syndicated television or something like this, probably this felt. I'll say this. I've been kind of comparing him to different episodes that like The New Man felt like a Twilight Zone episode. I'll Give You a Million felt like something out of Creep Show. Mookie and Pookie, I don't know what the fuck that felt like. That was just I don't know what that was. But this felt more like something from Tales from the Crypt, or what was I thinking a minute ago? Tales from the fuck, I can't remember what it was, but it had more of a. It was more about the creature. X Files, that perfect example. This felt like one of those weird off episodes of X Files that didn't follow the story and was just more about. And if I remember correctly, and it's been years since I've watched the X Files. I used to watch the X Files all the time when I was a kid with my parents. Like we'd watch. I think it was on every Friday night on Fox, if I remember correctly. And I feel like I vaguely remember an episode that was somewhat like this, where there was like a little something living in the closet or something like that. But it gives me, this episode gives me more X Files, Tales from the Crypt vibes than Twilight Zone or Creep Show or even like Are You Afraid of the Dark or Goosebumps or something like that. So, but very enjoyable. I liked it quite a bit. Like I said, I put it right there in the middle. I still like a few more than this one, but fun episode. I really dug it. It was kind of a slow build there, and I was just like, I don't know. This is really, and like I said, I think it maybe would have been more effective if I hadn't seen the creature before and didn't kind of know what was coming. I just didn't know how we were going to get there. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. So that's it for this episode of Entering the Dark Side. Like I said, glad I finally got to hop on here and get this done. I will be back next week for another episode. We're going to be watching the next two episodes. Two that just looking at the IMDb are fairly highly rated. So looking forward to those. And yeah, this Saturday night, I'm going to be doing a live stream of ranking Romero death scenes, part 1, the first decade of Romero, from Night of the Living Dead all the way through Dawn of the Dead. And I figure, it's December. We're all getting in the Christmas spirit and the holiday spirit. And what better way to do that than to talk about death. So we'll do that this Saturday. I'll see you guys there. Until then, you guys have a great rest of the night and try to enjoy the daylight. Night, everybody.